Welcome to All Change, the programme that puts design at the heart of the learning experience. Today we're at Castlevale Secondary School in the West Midlands, where we'll be transforming a music room, providing a space for the delivery of a modern curriculum and for student performances. Clive, as a specialist performing arts college, this is a bit of a sad space to have to use for drama and performance. Tell me about what your plans are for this.
It is. As you can see, it's a fairly drab, bland area at the moment. What was, I think, the school's small hall. We're really keen to get a specialist dance area going because dance would go absolutely tremendously with our children. They're very talented in that direction. So we hope we can actually extend this area to double its size, put in a proper dance floor, get some mirrors in, and make it into a really exciting dance area, which I'm sure will be used by the community as well as the school in a very exciting way. We've got some money set aside for the project to actually make it into a real quality dance studio, and I'm really looking forward to getting going on that.
Another priority for Clive Owen is to improve the rather dated science laboratories. One has recently been transformed into a very modern space.
Clive, what a contrast. We've seen one of your old science rooms, and now this. It's completely different. Tell me what you've done in here.
Well, this one's just been recently refitted, Sharon. I mean, as you can see, they've gone for the idea of having the services at the front and round the outside.
And the point of that is that kids aren't sitting playing with the taps.
Children won't sit and play with taps or other equipment, obviously. So when you want them focused on the board, you're able to do that. And when you want them working in groups, you can move them off to the areas where they need the water and the electric and so on and so forth. So the room has a real flexible feel, as you can see, and teachers can choose to put the tables into squares or into rows, whichever way they want to work, really, or can clear them completely if they want to do some kinesthetic learning.
Working on urban sites can be a challenge for architects and contractors. Sometimes the only solution is to build upwards to create multi-storey schools. As part of the government's Building Schools for the Future programme, Prannoy and Prasad Architects have created a 6-storey inner-city school. Built around a flexible rig concept, they've included learning environments, social spaces and sky gardens. Prannoy and Prasad Architects were given a tight urban site on which to design their exemplar school. They decided to build their 6-storey school with classrooms in clusters of 4 to 6 to create adaptable spaces. Their approach was not to be too literal with their design, but to be flexible and unconstrained.
We saw the exemplar design as an opportunity to design a theory of school, essentially a kit of parts, but not a constructional kit where you've got beams, window units, etc. More a kit of spaces. So the first part of the kit will be the civic ground, which is spaces such as the hall and the sports facilities, for instance, which can be shared with the community, and these can be disposed on the site to suit the locality. The second part of the kit is the rig, which is essentially a rig of learning platforms, and the learning platforms can each be laid out as classrooms or as free-form teaching spaces. And the rig, I mean, in our exemplar design we had it in a straight line, but it actually can respond to the site and layout, and you can get views through. And the learning platforms are connected by light links, essentially, which comes to the third part of the kit of parts, which are these shared social spaces, the stairs, the lifts, also the WC service spaces. Maybe you'll have a 6th form common room up there, you've got staff spaces, and coming at the top where you've got roof gardens and also particularly views back out over the locality at their local neighbourhood, really. So it's a multi-storey school, it's over 6 storeys. You've got 4 floors of learning platform in the middle, each with an intelligent facade which moderates the heat and light as well as ventilation, so every room has individual control over its own environment. Coming into the entrance space is very important for a school. It's like a public foyer, it's where everyone arrives at the school wants to communicate about what it does, who it is, exhibition for the children. Passing through a light link here with an external terrace and planting, bringing light into the heart of the school. Going in here to a learning platform, which in this view you can see is set up as a single classroom, enclosed. But then these folding screens here can be folded back, and you get then spatial continuity across the corridor, and then you can start using the space in a very different way. We've got reflecting panels on the ceiling which are increasing the daylight to the back of the room. And the important thing for us was to always link back the the learning to the place that you're in. So particular views out of the windows into the public realm, in a way connecting back down to the civic ground.
John, it looks a little bit chaotic in here at the minute, but is it going well?
Well, actually it is, really. It's been like working with a team of DIY experts. It's been like a blur of activity, as you can see, all these bits and pieces everywhere. All these yellow bits and pieces, some are seating, some is the shelving for all the computer. All that's got to be assembled, it's all got to be put together. Staging area comes down here. That will be fixed. Guitars still have to be sort of hung. The kids have been downstairs actually doing all the artwork, the spray paints, doing a great job with that. They're very proud of it. I've yet to see it. So that's all going over there, and there's some extra as well. We can put some over there. So it's painting at the moment, but a lot of construction to do.
I still haven't heard you sing.
You don't want to either.
And we don't want you to either, John. There's lots of painting still to be finished, and the movable bench that's going in the performance area needs putting together now the students have painted it. More bright blue to go up. And simple brackets were used to put the guitars on the wall. Well, what a fantastic effect. It's stylish and practical. The graffiti panels have dried off and now can go up. And the staging for the performance area can be assembled.
Geography is a multidisciplinary subject. Not only do students look at the physical environment, but they need to think about how people interact with their surroundings as well. That can make it a challenge for teachers. Here are some ideas for resources to brighten up and make your geography lessons creative and interesting. People, places and precipitation, that's geography. Big maps for little fingers. The water cycle simplified. Grow your own glacier with this kit. Between a rock and a hard place. How high is that then? And how far? Whatever the weather, it'll rain somewhere today. And we can measure how much. The British Educational Suppliers Association have a code of practice which their members comply with. You can find details of all these products on the Teachers TV website. Daniel.
Yeah?
You've been involved in some of the artwork and doing some of the stuff in the room. Has it been a fun weekend?
Yeah, it's been really good, and I've enjoyed doing some of the artwork and everything, so I've enjoyed it.
Does it make a difference to have your artwork in the room?
Yeah, definitely. It's like the room feels more cosy, you know, and like it's more of our room, if you know what I'm saying.
And Jordan, how do you think students would feel if you could have more of your artwork and your colours that you choose around?
I think it'd just be more like you'd feel like you're at home and you can do what you want. So it'd just be easier to do stuff.
Everything's finished, so it's time to get it all back in. Lots of computers to rig up again, so best leave it to the youngsters. Let's get set up for a performance. The brief was to create a space for listening, for composing and for performance, within a budget of about £1,000. The instruments were tidied up, and the room was personalised by the student artwork. The bank of computers and keyboards was neatened up by a simple shelf system, and a small stage for student performances was installed.
Elle, the room's all finished. What do you think of it?
It's absolutely amazing. Really, really cool.
And is it what you expected?
Better, a lot better than what I expected. When I saw the plans, I thought, and then you just see it in lifelike form, and it is amazing what you've done in a weekend.
And what are the most important bits to you in terms of how you're going to use this room?
I think the stage area is the most important bit, and the performing area.
And Clive, what do you think?
Well, I also think it's fantastic. I suppose the three elements that strike me are the extra space by the lifting of the computers and raising them up and giving more desk space. I also love the performing. I'm feeling very tense and nervous up here, but I know the children will love being up here and actually performing. And I guess also the decoration then and the words, and it's a very striking room now, very exciting. So a very, very big thank you to all the staff and to all the young people, boys and girls, who've turned up and given of their time, because without them, it couldn't happen.
No.
And it's fantastic.
We certainly couldn't have done it without them.
Indeed.
And we're going to see some more of your students work in a second, aren't we? You've got a performance for us.
That's right, yeah. 1 year 10 student Ruth Trainer and 1 year 11 student Jemima Caleb are actually going to perform one of Jemima's compositions for her GCSE coursework, and it's called Nan's Song.
As tears rush to my eyes, I wonder how I'll cope as every day.
We can get quite a few of you on the stage, can't we? We're testing it out now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of you up there. Does it feel quite comfortable?
Yeah.
So what will you be doing up here then?
Well, when we make up our songs, so the groups will be able to come up and try how it feels to be up on stage in front of all the others, singing and playing on all the instruments.
I think it's opened up a lot of space that will make a better working environment, especially on the sides with the shelves. I mean, there was no spaces for books to do the writing and composing and lyrics, so I think it'll make a big difference.
So a simple idea of just raising some monitors on a bit of board has worked wonders.
It's just fantastic. I can't believe the amount of space that's been made in the room. I think it's brilliant.
Because you're up in a special place called heaven, looking down and watching.
John, I just think that this is such a creative space now.
It was interesting. I was talking to one of the staff, and I was saying, well, I don't think we've done too much. And he said, you have. You've actually made this stage area just alone. It's like having a fireplace in a house. We've now got a focal point, which is a good point. I didn't actually look at it from that point of view.
But doesn't that prove that some rooms just don't need a great deal doing to them, but a fresh pair of eyes coming in and looking at how the space is used can make such a difference?
It's a lot easier for me walking in. I don't see the classroom every day, and you see every mistake very, very easily and very, very quickly. And, of course, just listening to what they really need and what they want, and then being to articulate that, in a physical sense. Yes, it's proved the point. You don't need to do a great deal or spend even a great deal of money to make a difference to that classroom.
And after hearing them perform, I'm really glad that you and I didn't sing this weekend.
Quite right, too.
If you've been involved in an exciting design project or would like help transforming an area of your school, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact us through the Teachers TV website, where you'll also find details of today's programme. From Castlevale School, it's goodbye from all change.